keys with this course is that it was designed from the get-go as being part of an integrated Summer Institute package. So we really made a point of fitting it into a pretty good integrated program, so that a student can take all 4 or 5 courses this summer and get a really well integrated package, you know, where this is the production course that everything's around, but there's also a weed science course, an entomology course, and a plant pathology course, all of them relating back to this one. As a former PSS graduate myself, I found that it was very helpful to have hands-on production courses where you could actually learn about the things that you learned in the classroom. You could actually learn about ways to farm in a commercial setting and learn how to make a living farming. That's what this course is really geared towards, is commercial tree fruit agriculture, covering, you know, sustainable growing, organic growing. We're going to cover the economics of it. We're going to cover horticulture, integrated pest management. So it's really going to be a good overall course to learn everything you got to know to manage a fruit farm. Well, the highlights of the course is that the course is based here at the farm. The building is right in the middle of all the orchards. So every day we're going to be out there working with the trees. We will be doing some hands-on work, actually putting pruners in your hands, actually counting bugs, actually doing some of the things that growers do, you know, crop estimation. We're also going to be getting away from here in commercial farms in the area, so we can see what people who are doing this for a living actually are doing and compare to that and you know, give folks a sense for what it's going to take when they get out there in the world and try to grow some apples. I'm really excited to teach the course. Like I said, I've been working with the apple program for 15 years. I was a commercial grower for 3 years. I've never had the chance to actually get there and basically give people my 15 years of experience. I've heard from students, I work with students here every year, and they're all asking, where can we learn about this stuff? You know, how did you learn? And I just want to teach them. So I think it'll be a real fun course.
Start every day at the pork farm. We'll spend some time in the classroom introducing some topics, and then depending on what we're talking about that day, we'll go out into the field. We're going to go and see some of these farms that are doing alternative methods to what most people might be used to as far as conventional agriculture. So we're going to go to a farm and be able to see rotational grazing for beef cattle and for dairy right when it's happening. During the growing season, we're going to be taking a look at some permaculture plots right here in Burlington. At the end of this class, hopefully, my hope is that students will be able to be more educated consumers and have a better understanding of their food choices.
The course deals with plant pathology, and these are some of the books of plant diseases for certain groups of plants. This one is on the cucurbits, for example, and then tomatoes and potatoes. So these are the types of plants that we do talk about. We also discuss the organisms that cause plant disease, the bacteria, fungi, viruses, and oomycetes that are important causes of disease. I take a little bit of liberty in the course to introduce some mycology to the study of fungi. By focusing on the organisms, I think you get a better sense of what's really going on in the dynamic of plant disease. And that's very relevant in terms of understanding how to control disease, both from a cultural point of view and then other types of interventions, including fungicides, which we do discuss. It's a required course for certain majors, and it could be convenient for certain people to have a summer offering. But also, during the summertime, there's a lot of things growing that we don't have access to in the fall semester. I appreciate that there's a broad range of people taking the course, and I try to make it accessible to everybody. And at the same time, I think everyone is challenged a little bit. I hope they are.
My class is really focused on the whole initiative and problem solving approach. If you wanted to intercrop, what would that mean? What kind of varieties would you choose? What was the timing of things? And what are the trade-offs when you make certain choices? I've had some growers come to me and say, I wish I had a course like this when I was starting.
John sends you out to have collections to actually choose which insects you want to find, how you're going to find them, and from my perspective, it just opened my eyes to what's out there, I guess. What are all those little small crawly things that you didn't know were there? Come up with all these different techniques of being able to find the bugs. And then on top of that, you also learn lots about if you're gonna, maybe you're not gonna be an agriculturalist or agronomist, but if you want to grow a garden, you have techniques of how to scout for bugs. Like all this really useful and practical knowledge. The highlight of the course is the bug collection, without a doubt. You get to go outside, identify and collect bugs like you're a little kid. And then of course, John. I think John is probably if not the most knowledgeable professor I've ever had, definitely the funniest. So.
Well, there are, and we will definitely look at and study some of these weeds. There are some particular weeds that just amaze me. A lot of our activity for crop production is managing weeds. It becomes a very expensive part of our input costs in controlling weeds. And they're just part of that ecosystem. And that's one thing we learned about in that course is why are they important and how they interact with our cropping system. Both, they're always going to be there, but also how we can manage that in a sustainable way. So we spend a lot of time in the field, and especially this summer, we'll do some actual in-field research, if you want to call it that. Oftentimes we'll do a weed seed bank study where we evaluate the populations of the weeds in a particular field and how that affects crop management. We do a lot of on-site visits with different farms or landscape professionals and ask them how they manage the weeds, what kind of weed problems they have. I really look at this course as an introduction to the ecology of disturbed landscapes, whether it be crops, fields, or landscapes around the urban environment, because the weeds really interact that way. So we do a lot of hands-on. If there's any take-home from this course, it's that you change your mindset when you look at things.
If someone wants to take the whole package, I think it's going to be a really nice one. You can get a whole semester done in the summer. What better place to live in Vermont than Burlington in the summer? So I really hope people take it and take the whole package.